Hey everyone, Scott from RPGFan here today with a preview look at the upcoming Raidou Remastered, Mystery of the Soulless Army. As always, there is a written version of this preview on the website. A link is in the description below. If you enjoyed this preview, feel free to subscribe, like, and leave a comment. As always, I will answer any questions I'm allowed to. Enjoy. So the debate today in a sea of games that are remasters and remakes of games of yesteryear is the understanding of what counts as a remaster and what counts as a remake. The broad and straight to the point answer is remasters are games that are fundamentally the same, but the graphics are updated to HD quality with minimal to no improvements to gameplay. And remakes are when games have not only been updated graphically, but also changed fundamentally from its original gameplay to resemble something new and old at the same time. Most of the time, it's cut and dry when you see a game to decide if it's a remake or a remaster, and sometimes it's not as clear. Raidou Remastered, The Mystery of the Soulless Army, definitely falls into the latter. It may be branded as a remaster, but clearly under the hood, it is way, way more. Thanks to Atlas, I had the chance to sit down and play the first two chapters of Raidou Remastered. I had the privilege as a huge Raidou fan to see just what has changed from the original to this version. Having just replayed Raidou 1 and 2 for our annual summer marathon on Twitch last year, I've recently refreshed myself on both the good and bad of the original. The original, although pretty fun, is definitely a flawed PS2 game. It was one of Atlas's first attempts at taking the SMT formula and trying to make an action RPG out of it. And although I will say the setting, story, characters, and the idea of having demons help you investigate are all great in Raidou 1, the combat and some of the gameplay choices for the game are just mediocre at best. While a lot of that was fixed in the sequel, Raidou 1 is a diamond in the rough. So what has changed, and is it for the better? Let's break it down into three categories: battle gameplay, normal gameplay, and graphics, and go step by step.
Raidou, show them the might of the Kuzunoha.
So right off the bat, the battles in Raidou 1 are leaps and bounds different, and more importantly, way better in the remaster. It is a completely new combat system that borrows much from its sequel. First off, the camera is now fully controllable. The original had a locked static camera angle that was hard to use and made some fights very frustrating. The battlefields are big and spacious enough to make good use of this as well. Second is Raidou's katana attacks. He now has access to the weak and strong attacks that were put in the sequel. Square for weak attacks are used to recover mag and are quick and precise. Triangle is now used for strong attacks that do not replenish mag, but instead do way more damage. Returning from the sequel as well is the ability to give your sword the properties of a sword, spear, or axe, and this will be reflected in your strong attack. You have to play a balanced act between both actions to make sure you do damage, as well as keep your mag filled. Mag has also changed to its role from the sequel. Mag, short for magnetite, is not used to summon demons now, but instead used as a shared MP pool. Demons can't cast spells unless you have mag, and you want them to use spells in order to heal and cast spells to hit enemy weaknesses to stun enemies. Stun enemies give twice the mag back, and do 1.5 times damage from strong attacks. Also taken from the sequel is the ability to dual summon. So now you can get twice the firepower, or you can split your demons into support and offensive abilities, or any combo that fits your needs. Their AI is also much smarter now, and you won't have to babysit them anymore. Raidou still has his gun as well, but gone are the elemental bullets, or the need to stock bullets at all. Hitting L2 puts you in the first person mode, locked onto a target, and then you press circle to fire your gun. The gun is now used as a means to stun lock or stop enemy movements. It feels much better to use. You are limited to ammo in battle until it replenishes itself by itself, which it does at a pretty decent pace. One of the best changes is Raidou's movement in battle. He can now jump to avoid attacks that crawl on the floor, or do jump attacks to get the surprise in enemy demons. His dodge roll is now a smart roll. Hit it in the direction of your enemy will dodge behind them to allow you to blindside them and continue your assault. Or, you could dodge backwards for a small hop, which if followed up by a sword attack, will thrust you back toward the enemy. Confining demons is also super easy now too. Just walk up to them, and if you're at their level or higher, hold R1 and then hit the circle button. Then either hold or spam the circle button to contain them. No more awkward hitting weaknesses and then accidentally killing demons. Raidou in general feels way better to control than he ever did in the original or the sequel. He also has a few new tricks as well. First is his Devil's Bane ability. If you knock a demon off balance with a well-placed assault, or dodge one of their attacks perfectly, you'll get a prompt to hit circle and X together, do a quick cinematic strike, do a lot of damage, and steal a ton of mag. If you replace elemental bullets, he can now use combat skills by pressing R1 with the face button to use skills with elemental attack. They're tied to a cooldown, but also aren't just for attacking. You can learn moves that heal you or replenish mag and other stuff via sword alchemy. And last but not least, by hitting enemy weaknesses and building up the combo gauge, you can build up for a super move called the Spirit Slash. That will automatically hit all enemies for the affinity that will do the most damage, and pierce any defenses for enemies that are immune to it. Combat-wise, Raidou feels like a modern action RPG that you would expect to play in 2025, and not the slow, clunky mess that existed from the PS2 game. But combat isn't all that has changed here. Some big noticeable changes to normal gameplay are here as well, and are very much appreciated. For one, almost everything is voiced in this version. Raidou and its sequel lacked any voice acting in them, which left much to be desired for a game that was such a cool setting as 1930s Japan. And I do mean almost everything. The only time the game is not voiced is for NPCs in the street. This is a welcome and honestly, the best change for this game. The next big change is no more random battles. Random battles, especially in Raidou 1, were obnoxious. Even walking around town, you were forced to do random battles. Now battles are limited to Dark Realms and dungeons, where you can see the enemies on the field and choose to engage them or not. Demon Fusion now allows you to pick the skills to inherit like most modern SMT games. There's also a limited second demon chart that allows you to store a different version of the same demon in the compendium. The map now gives you objective markers, as well as showing you where hidden items are that you can use your demons to find. And the best change is the simple fact that when you're controlling your demons to investigate stuff in the field, you no longer have to do battle as them alone. They took away one of the worst parts of Raidou 1 out completely, and I cannot thank them enough. You also now have access to fast travel to get around much quicker, even if you still got to pay the streetcar fares to get to other districts. And finally, the addition of Sword Alchemy chart to see the future swords we wish to make, and what skills and what previous weapon you need to make said swords. All great quality life changes. Graphically, the game looks much better than the original, even if a lot of the generic NPCs really are kind of blocky. But it was nice to see that they kept all the non-interactive NPCs still walking around the town, including my favorite, the kid with a stick. It's also very obvious they took out all the pre-rendered backgrounds from the original and replaced them with actual 3D models instead of trying to upscale them and making a blurry mess like a lot of other remasters do. Demons also look way better, and Raidou's animations are so much better as well. Basically, it still looks just like Raidou 1, but you can tell it's mostly done from the ground up in what I believe is Unreal Engine. It's what you'd expect from any good remaster. So the bottom line, is this an actual remaster, or is it a remake? Well, the simple answer is that it's a bit of both. It's Raidou 1 done right, with proper combat, good gameplay, and the same cool story and characters we all enjoyed back in the day. I really hope we see the sequel get the same kind of treatment, because these games are such a blast to play, and will be even better this time around. And that's all I have for this preview. If you enjoyed it, please let me know in the comments below, or if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Also, Raidou Remastered comes out just in time for our annual summer marathon on Twitch called Summer of R&R, Remakes and Remasters, and will fit right in as this kind of fits both roles. I hope to see you there, and as always, have a great night, and I'll see you in the next one.
We're counting on you, Raidou Kuzunoha the 14th.